Last time I come in, somewhat prepared. I did a better job in front of the commissioners with, and everything I've got, literally comes out of the Indiana State website. Not only all the books, which is the Indiana Planning and Zoning Guide. This is the newest edition. The only thing that's out of it that's not, the other stuff on the state website is page 1, chapter 1, which I couldn't find it on the Indiana State website any place but in here. So I'm gonna have to read off it, and then the rest of it, the ordinance numbers that I give you, you can look up yourself on your computer and look to see that it's the latest edition and it's not outdated or anything else. I'm gonna start up here, part 1, chapter 1, section 1.1. Note that even if a county does not have planning or plan commission established, municipalities within that county may still establish a plan commission exclusively for their jurisdiction. Throughout IC 36-7-4, that's the book, a reader will note the preceding terms advisory, area, and metro, followed by statutory language which applies to that type of planning commission. In case where there is no heading, the section applies to all 3 types of planning. Where that's going to come in is when I was in before the statute, Indiana Code 36-7-4-211, with membership changes to the commission, its heading starts off with area. It's only for an area board. We are an advisory board. The map shows we're an advisory board, just like 50 other counties in the state of Indiana. Area, what applies strictly to area does not apply to the ability to change the board's makeup. The next part, chapter 1, section 1.2. Advisory planning commissions can serve cities, towns, and counties. Municipal advisory planning commissions serve the area within the corporate limits and in some cases are allowed jurisdiction over contiguous unincorporated territory up to 2 miles outside the corporate limits. That's what the city of Salem claims, but they don't claim the entire 2-mile fringe. They have it picked off in a geographic area where the lines are straight rather than being round. Here's the next part. County Advisory Planning Commission, that's what we are, serves the unincorporated territory within the county, excluding any extraterritorial jurisdiction claimed by the municipalities. That means once Salem claims it on their map, the county has no jurisdiction there. So when I get to the point of you have to live within the jurisdiction of the board, if you're within what Salem claims, you don't qualify as a board member. That's just my argument here. Section 36-7-4-601. The legislative body having jurisdiction over a geographical area described in a zoning ordinance has exclusive authority. So the city of Salem, once they took that 2-mile fringe, what they've taken, which is in pink on the map that's on the county's website, they have exclusive control over that. We do not have joint jurisdiction in any way, shape, or form. It's only the city of Salem's control. And then the advisory planning commission means municipal planning commissions, and the county planning commission or metropolitan planning commission. Planning commissions, unless preceded by a qualified adjective, means advisory planning commission, an area of planning commission, or a metro development commission. The term does not include a regional planning commission, which they don't have. That just brought back into the, it has area in front of the 211, 36-7-4-211. Yes, sir.
No offense, but that's 4 minutes. So I'll let you know. It's 4 minutes. You said it's 4 minutes?
No, he's 15 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to skip to 216. 36-7-4-216, Section C, subject Section D, citizen members must meet one of the following requirements. The member must be a resident of the jurisdictional area of the planning commission. The member may also be required by statute to reside within an unincorporated area within the jurisdictional area of the planning commission. Or two, the member may be a resident of the county and also an owner of real property located in whole or in part within the jurisdictional area of the planning commission. The member may also be required by statute to own real property within the unincorporated area in the jurisdictional area of the planning commission. Section D, at least a majority of the total members of citizen members appointed to the planning commission must be residents of the jurisdictional area of the planning commission. That means they have to reside there too, not just own the property. The commission shall determine whether a citizen member meets all applicable residency requirements for appointment in accordance with the uniform rules prescribed by the commission. So what I'm coming down and asking is that you, as a board, make a vote where you believe that all the residential requirements, the requirement to own or reside within the jurisdictional limits of the board have been met. If you believe they've been met, even though contrary to the map that the county has on site and any other information that the surveyor may have as far as what ground people own, there's nothing I can do about it. But this is what the Indiana statute says, and that's what I'm asking you to look at and consider. And by the way, City of Salem has a resident on their, that's been appointed to their board, that live within the 2-mile fringe, but it's not taken in by their map. They live within 2-mile distance, but they're not within the geographical area that Salem claims. So that member can be traded with one of these members. They actually live within the area that's controlled by the county and not by the city, even though it's within 2 miles from the edge of the town. That's
Max, can I see your copies of your statutes that you're, just a second.
was the, no more than three of the same political party. 216, section D. Section C is what I read. And those are downloaded from the state website rather than copying out of the book.
Yeah, that's fine.
Do you want me to make you copies of those, John?
Any other questions?
I've got them, I just don't have anything.
Okay.
Well, I didn't expect him to have access to it at his fingertips.
Does anyone have any questions?
This was brought about when we talked to Ben Bowen about where Mark lived. And that was where we finally got started with it. And the reason we brought it up is because when the board was first established, there were two members, Terry McNeely and somebody else that didn't meet the qualifications, and we only $60,000, and Ms. Tom Cyphers made the board correct with the state to meet that requirement that they reside within the jurisdiction of that board. And that's what I assumed was going on. I didn't realize that we varied from that. I'm not trying to be mean about it, but these ordinances are going to affect people, and they need to know that they've been done properly and above board the whole way. Because sometimes you're going to tell somebody no, and they're not going to like it. I'm done that times.
So I guess I have read this, I've been in conversation previously about this. I wasn't at the August meeting, but to hear if there was anything said about any of this, but looking at the state code, does all the members feel that they meet one of those things? Or if, I guess, we have to talk about it, or are we not gonna acknowledge? I haven't had any conversation.
Under subsection D,
Mhm.
the plan commission can, by motion or resolution, decide that all its members meet the qualifications of the statute. That basically ends the discussion. You don't need to do anything. There's no matter pending before the plan commission at this point. By which any of that is invoked, other than we have a citizen who's made a statement to you that it is believed there's an issue with the organization plans. At the August meeting, I made the statement that based on the resolution that the Plan Commission passed and was adopted by the county commissioners, the Plan Commission has some jurisdiction over streets and roads within the 2-mile fringe. It's a situation of concurrent jurisdiction. In my opinion, I think that until somebody tells me different, or some court comes along and smacks my hand, then smack me forward. I would suggest thank Mr. Greene as a parent to move forward with the rest of your agenda.
Max, thank you. You guys, if you want to go and think about what Max has said, if you guys want to email in, if you don't feel like talking about it here, that's fine. Go and think about it. We can always meet about it next month or whenever, if you want to read it on your own. If you want me to ask Max for copies and you guys want to take them home, then we can do that. And if not, you can always call John and talk with any of our legal counsel. We follow what our legal counsel tells us, so. Is that okay with everyone?
And just a thought here. I know on some other boards I'm on, they call for an executive meeting, and that's behind closed doors. But simply, we discuss the issue, and then we come out on the floor and do a vote or a motion, which I think would be a smart idea. But that's, just saying.
There's only certain things for which you can have an executive session. I don't think this fits in one of those categories.
Yeah. I'm not sure either. But y'all just email. If we need to put on the agenda next month, we will. Okay? Alright. Move along. Okay, Travis said he didn't have anything for the agenda.